So technical issue will take further later on.
So good evening, everybody. Today I enter into the next session. So I think you are enjoying the last sessions, whatever I covered. But sorry for today's problem. That is the technical issues what we will face. Anyway, today I enter into the main part in Java. That is the reason for that. I think that now I change my movement so that you can. That is what feel comfortable with me. So fine. Anyway, today I enter into a powerful topic called as the abstract class. So see, most of the guys tell that abstract class is a really difficult topic. And in the interview, you face lots of questions from abstract class. But I tell you that I give you some tricks, some fundamental tricks, and you have to remember these tricks. If you understand this concept, you can easily explain what actually abstract class is. So simple word, what is abstract class? Whenever you face any interview, at that moment you face a question that what is a abstract class? So आप लोग अगर किसी भी साइड जाओगे, किसी भी चीज में चेक करोगे कि what are the important questions you face in Java interview preparation case. The first question is what is abstract class? Simple word. When the class is declared through the abstract keyword, it is called as abstract class. So now you see, if I declare a class like this, the abstract, see, that is the class, that is A. So A is a what type of class? Abstract class. So remember, Java uses three type of classes. One is concrete class, another one is abstract class, another one is final class. So when as a developer, I am declaring the class by the help of the abstract keyword, it is called as abstract class in Java. Next job. So what actually happens in case of abstract class? Abstract class cannot be instantiated. You never create the object of what? Abstract class. Simple word is abstract class cannot be instantiated. You never create the object of which class? Abstract class. If you write like this new A, that's an error because it is not possible in case of Java that we can construct the object of the abstract class. Next one, that is within the abstract class, you can define the constructor, but you never call the constructor by the help of which keyword? Abstract. Now you see, as a developer, I can define the constructor within the abstract class. I can define the constructor, but I am unable to call the constructor by the help of, that is what, I am unable to call the constructor by the help of which keyword? New. I can define the constructor, but I am not able to call the constructor. Next, abstract class may contain abstract method or may not. Listen, I have an abstract class. I have not declared any abstract method within it. It's not an error. Take an example. This is an abstract class. Within the abstract class, if I write like this, a static void call. See, what I can do here, that is void call. Now you tell call is what type of method? It is a static method. There is no abstract method available in the abstract class. No issues are there. It is an abstract class, not containing any abstract method. That's not a problem. So listen, within an abstract class, if I am not declared any abstract method, it's not a problem. It's It's not an issue. But on the other hand, abstract method is only declared in which class? Abstract class. I already covered. In case of Java, there are three different type of classes that are available. One is abstract class, another one is final class, another one is content class. But if take an example, here you see, I have a, that is what, abstract method. Here you see, I just write like this, public abstract, here you see, void find. That is so. Now you check, so is a abstract method. But this abstract method declared in which class? Abstract class. Realize the term, what I want to tell you. Abstract method is only declared in abstract class. But in the abstract class, method may abstract or may not abstract. I can define a constructor in the abstract class, but I am unable to call the constructor of the abstract class by new keyword. That means I never create an object of the abstract class. So realize these terms. These are very fundamental. And in the abstract class, I can declare an instance variable. I'm able to declare an instance variable. That is possible. Listen, these are the points I just elaborate. The first point is the abstract class always declared by which keyword? Abstract keyword. So आप लोग जब भी एक abstract class declare करोगे, तो it must be declared by which keyword? Abstract keyword. You know that abstract method is only declared in abstract class. We can define the constructor in the abstract class, but we never call the constructor by new keyword. That means you never create the object of the abstract class. Abstract class may contain abstract method, may not contain abstract method. So now, see, these are the fundamental concepts I just elaborate to you. You just realize this is a very powerful concept in Java. Now, there are lots of questions arise. In the interview, they ask you some fundamental questions. I just show you what actually happens. Remember, abstract method declared in abstract class, but they are bound to override where? In the child class. I saw that most of the company case, they are asking lots of questions in these areas. See, today I just elaborate this concept. See what I can do here. Check. Here you see, I just move here. Fine. That is here you just write. Anyway, I just write. That is check here. I just write here. You see C5, C5. That is check here. What I can do. Now I just move to the fundamental part. See what I can do here. That is notepad. That is the demo part. I just write here. Now see, I just have a class. Class that is A. This is not abstract class. Simple. It is not abstract class because this class not declared by abstract keyword. So what you can do here? You just write abstract class A. That is abstract. Containing some abstract method. I just write public abstract issue. That is the what I did here. That is the public abstract. That is the void. That is so. That is the abstract method. I already covered abstract method is only declared in which class? Abstract class. Now I just write here abstract void of another abstract method I declare. Here is see. I may declare it by public or may declare it by no answers. That's not a matter. Now I just move here abstract. Here you see public abstract void. So how many abstract methods declared in the abstract class? There are 3 abstract methods declared in the abstract class. Remember, when the 3 abstract methods declared in the abstract class, in the child class, you are bound to override all the 3 methods because abstract methods are bound to override in the child class. If I am not override any method out of the 3, if I am not override any method, then it's an error. Or there is another option is there. If you are not override any method, then make the child class as a abstract class. I just show you that is the abstract class B. Here I write extends A. Now check here. B is another abstract class that is inherited from a abstract class called as A. Here I write at the rate override to try to understand the rules of a method override. When you override the method at that time, either you override it by same access specifier or least restrictive. And you know that in case of Java, no other access specifier is least restricted than public. I just write here public void fun. Here you see I override a method that is called as fun. Here I just write a system, sorry, here I just write a system data output println. I just write here that is the hello Java logger. I just write here hello Java. End of the block, end of this thing. See, when B class inherited from A, at that time it is bound to override all the three abstract methods declared in the A class. But here I only override one method, that is fun, but I am not override but a call and show method. So I am either I override all the three abstract method in B, or I make the child class as a abstract class. I am following the second rules. I am making the child class as a abstract class. But see, what is my next job? I just write class C extends here, you see, or here you write that is the abstract class C extends. What I can do here, that is the B. When I write here abstract class C extends B, now you try to understand. Here C class bound to override how many method? Another two method available in A. Because B only override one, fun. It is not override that is call and show. So it is bound to override word call and show. But here you see, take an example. I just write here public, public void that is called. Here you see what I can do here. System data output println. That is I just write here. I love Java language. Java is that is a law Java language. Over. That is the end of this block. End of this thing. Now here also I did the mistake. Why I make the C class also abstract? Because I am not override another method. What the method is so method yet not over. So what is my next job? I just write here public class that is the demo extends C. When I write here extends C, it is bound to override one method. What is the method? That is so method. I just write here at the rate override. What I did the public void. What the method I can, that is what I redefine. That's system dot output println. I just write here. There is I love your Java. I write here I love Java. Anyway, that's the end of the open. Now the problem is solved. Every problem is solved. Now demo class inherited from C. When it is inherited from C, it is bound to override one method. That is so. Because C class only override C class inherited from B, it is bound to override two methods, but it is only override one method, that is called. That is a B class inherited from A. When B class inherited from A, it is bound to override all the three methods, but it is override only one method. Fine. Anyway, I just move to the next job. You see, public find static void main. Yeah, you see what I can do here. That is sorry. Yeah, you check. I just write here string ARTS. I just enter into the main. I write here demo dd is equal to new demo. I am able to create the object of the demo class. Why I am able to create the object of the demo class? Because try to understand. Now, demo is what type of class? Demo is not an abstract class. And try to understand, you are able to define the constructor of what That is a non-abstract class. Now, anyway, I just write dd dot here. You see, dd dot fun. I just write dd dot call dot. You see, that is the anyway. That is the dd dot. That is now anyway. That's the end of the block. End of this. Over. So check. This is the first example I just show you. In this example, I show you that what actually happens in case of Java. In abstract class, what actually happens? The main problem is word. In case of abstract class, you never create an object of the abstract class. Simple word. Abstract class cannot be instantiated. You never create an object of word abstract class first. What is the second point? Second point, you try to understand. The second point is word that is the abstract class case. What actually happens? Abstract class may contain abstract method or may not contain abstract method. So that's all about the concept of what abstract class. Now I just show you what actually happens. Check here. I just compile the code. See here. Now this is compilation. I just write Java. Check here. Now here you see this is all about the result. I show you. Hello Java lovers. I love Java language. I love Java technology. This is all about the concept of filter. This is all about the concept of that is abstract class. That is the first example I show you because without programming, it is really difficult to explain the abstract concept, or it is really difficult to explain abstract class. Are you getting my words? Please share your comments. If you are enjoying the classes, please share the comments, and you know that it is one of the important topic. So if you have also any queries or any questions, please share it to me. Then I try to solve it and I try to explain it because it is one of the important topic, one of the difficult topic in Java. Not only Java, in any object-oriented language, it is a difficult concept. Now, fine. That's I covered. Please share your comment to me. I want your comment, which is very valuable for me. And your comment, by perceiving your comments, I make the live session interactive. And I want that maybe whatever your doubt, that maybe the doubt of that is what that some people they can easily solve these doubts. So anyway, that is I just covered the first program, and in the first program I explain what actually happens. Now I move to the second part. Second part is what they ask you the question: can I define a static method in the abstract class? Can I define the main method in the abstract class? Yes. But you know that there is a problem. You never declare any, that is what, you never declare or define any non-static method within it. You always define the static method within it. So you know that the class which contains the main method, that class is called as the driver class or the main class. See, what is the question? I just do it. Now, I just write here, note that here you see there is the demo one dot. You see another program I show you, lots of program I show you. Then you feel comfortable to face the any type of queries or questions. Now I move to the second part. Here you see I just write here public. Here you see that is the public class. What the class name is the demo. Anyway, demo one is the class. I just declare the demo one class. I move to the next job. You see, static void call. It is a static method. If it has a non-static method, then it is not abstract class. I have to make the class is word abstract. I declare the class is abstract. You know that abstract class cannot be instantiated. You never create the object of word abstract class. So I define a static method. Why? If I define a non-static method within it, then I must require to call it. But for calling it into the mean, you have to create an object. But you are unable to create the object of word abstract class. So I make the method is a static method or it is a class method. I just write here, that is a system dot out dot print range. I just write here. That is a hello. I print here, that is. Now I move to the main, that is public find static void main dot you see string data. I just enter into the thing. Check here. Now what is my next job? Yeah, you see, I want to call the call method. No issues are there. I already covered. A abstract class may contain an abstract method or may not. That's not an error. It is not generated any error message. See. So whatever the fundamental part I covered, please remember this concept. They ask you the question, can it possible in Java that you never define or declare any abstract method within abstract class? You tell yes. If I have abstract class not containing abstract method, it's not an error. But abstract method is only declared in which class? Abstract class. Check here, what I can do. I just compile the code. See here, that is Java C. Now compile the code. It's not an error. Yeah, you see. That is Java demo. Now you check. What it print? Hello. Now, yesterday I covered dynamic method dispatch. What is dynamic method dispatch? Dynamic method dispatch means method dispatched at what time? Runtime. And in the last class I covered dynamic method dispatch is really implemented in abstract class and interface because you never create an object of the abstract class and abstract method bound to override in the child class. Now see, I just show you what actually dynamic method dispatch is and how it is implemented in case of abstract class. I just show you. Check here, there is abstract here, you see, sorry, there is, I just write here, that is a demo 2 dot, I just write, what I did here, abstract class, there is a is an abstract class, here I did, or here what I can did, I write here abstract class A. Now within that I have to use public abstract here you see sorry there is what I write there is a having a class having a constructor. Now what I did here system data out range I just write here there is the object is constructed. I just write here object is constructed. Fine anyway. I already covered, you can define the constructor in the abstract class, but you never call the constructor in the abstract. Now, I just write here string name. You try to understand, I just pass here string name. You check. String is the name of the class, name is good. Reference, it is an instance variable I declare. You know that. The size of the object depends on which variable? Instance. I just do one thing, check here what I can do. Public that is the abstract void that is a greeting dot you see now greeting is an abstract method available in the abstract class. Now what I can do I just write class season that is the extends that is the a season is the class which is inherited from a. That's not a matter. Matter is what when the seasonal class inherited from the abstract class, it is bound to override one abstract method. So how many abstract methods available here? Only one. What is the abstract method is available? The abstract method name is what? Greeting. So I'm bound to override the greeting. Here you see, I just write here at the rate override. But I pass here public void that is the greeting. Now you see, I'm bound to override the greeting. Now here you see, you have only another option also there. Season is the constructor where I can pass string. You check here. Now season having a constructor. That is a parameterized constructor of string type. My main intention is word. I want to initialize the name. What is my next job? I just write this dot name is equal to. You already know that when my instance variable name and parameter name is same, as a programmer, how can I differentiate it by the help of this keyword? I just allow. Now, I just override this method. See, what is my next job? I just write a system out println. Here I just write master class name. Fine. That is this is a season routine. Yeah, you see. For this is a season routine for anyway. That's the end of the block. That is the end of the. So now you see, I just try to explain what the concept is. I try to explain. I'm bound to override a method of that is what I'm bound to override a method of the abstract class. Abstract method bound to override here. I already, when I call this constructor, name is already initialized. So it create a Mr. Name. This is a season greeting for. Now I just write here class birthday. You see, extends what I pass here. Now extends a. You know that birthday class inherited from A. When the birthday class inherited from A, it is bound to override. Same one method. What the method is bound to override? That is written. Now my main intention is I want to show you what is a dynamic method dispatch out of where it is implemented. In my last class, I covered what is a dynamic method dispatch. I already covered. And at that moment, I told you that dynamic method dispatch is only implemented in case of abstract class or in case of interface. I just do one thing here. You see, there is the birthday. Here you see. I declare another instance variable within it. Here you see. When I declare one instance variable, I just write int age. Now, birthday having two parameters. One is the string name, another one is what? Int age. Try to understand. My instance variable name and parameter name is same. How can I differentiate it? This dot name is equal to, sorry, this dot name is equal to name. Here I pass this dot age is equal to, that is age. Over. Now, what is my next job? I just write at the rate override. What I can do here, sorry, here you just write public void, that is the 15. I just override the method. Here you see what I write the system dot output println. Sorry, here you see println. What it write the Mr. Name. What I write here? This is yours, yours plus. That is age. You check yours age. That is birthday. Now, what I did here? That is the birthday. End of the block. End of the over. So now, this is all about the fundamental concept of word. That is abstract class. So just see what actually happens here. Simple word. This is the concept of word abstract class icon. Now after that, what is my next job? I just write here public class. What the class name is? Demo. What I did the public find static void main class and pass the string AR. I just enter into the. Now when I enter into the main, what I can do here? I just write a is equal to new. What I can do here? That is the season. I just give the name. You see, Anki. I pass the name. Here, I already covered. In case of dynamic method dispatch, what happens? I am creating the child class object, but it refers to the reference of the base class. Now, here you see when I write a dot greeting, you know the concept. As I call it by base class reference, compiler check the availability of the member in the base class. But that is, I'm creating the child class object. So override method is for. When I call the child class constructor, it must implicitly call the base class constructor. What first it print? The object is constructed first. Then name is initialized by Ankit. Then after that, when I call greeting, compile time, compiler check the availability of the method in which class? The base class available. It is abstract method available. But at the runtime, it called the override method. What it called? Mr. Ankit, this is the season greeting for you. This is dynamic method dispatch. Now say wait, I just write here, that is anyway, here you see. I move to the next story, here you check, I just move here. That is, I move to the next part. What I did here, that is AB is equal to new, what's I pass here? That is new, I just write birthday. What I can pass here? That is the name. Sagar, job I pass the 23. Now here you see that is the AB dot greeting. I just call AB dot greeting. Check here. When I call the child class constructor, is the child class having the constructor parameter? There are two parameters are there. Yes. The first parameter is what? That is the string. That is Sagar. The second parameter is what? 23. Now you see what actually happens here. Here what happens, the compiler, that is what the JVM, what it does, when it calls the child class constructor, the child class constructor must implicitly call the base class constructor. What it print? Another time, object is constructed. Then it print, that is name is, initialize, the name is Sagar and age is 20. When I write ab.getting, compiler check the availability of the method in a class. It is abstract class and a greeting method is abstract method available, no error. But I am creating the child class object. So JVM at the runtime call the child class method, Mr. Sagar. This is yours 23. Over. That's all about the concept of dynamic method dispatch. Try to understand what actually the dynamic method dispatch is. Whatever I covered in my last class, I just implemented it in case of abstract class. See here, what I can do, I just compile the code Java C, check here. I just execute the code Java demo. Now see, object is constructed, Mr. Ankit, this is a sizzle greeting for you. Object is constructed, Mr. Sagar, this is your 23rd birthday. So anyway, this is dynamic method dispatch. So I think today I just give you some explanation for abstract class. I explain what actually abstract class is, what actually dynamic method dispatch is. Please remember these concepts. Whatever I explain, I justify everything through the program. So please, any doubt if you have, please share it to me because it is not possible today. I can explain what the interface. So अगर कुछ भी doubt रहेगा दिमाग में, आप share it in the comments. Today, sorry for everything because there are some technical issues are there. So we want to make it more dynamic, but really it is what it is a reverse way it will move. So anyway, in my next session, I will adjust it. And that is this is the way we can give you some ideas about Java concept. So remember, so that is sometimes this thing happens. Technical issues happens, but anyway, I anticipate you guys cope with that is cope with us. And next class, I try to improve the technical that is what qualities because I saw that there are some technical issues repeatedly arise that must be solved in the next session. So thank you. In my next session, I will start from the next part. Thank you, sir.
ना ना ऑन धरे ना
नहीं
ऑन